Normally I'm not the flute player, but now I'm an oboe player, so I had to sub in just a little bit. But I just wanted to take some time to answer any questions that you might have. So, yes,
Where
please.
do you go to school at? Where's your school for,
Oh, the Army School of Music.
Yeah.
So that's located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, right on the ocean.
Nice.
So that's actually a Navy installation. It's one of the few places where Army folks go to train that's not an Army base. The Army being a big service, you know, most of us have our own huge installations, kind of like Fort Hood or Fort Huachuca even. But no, this is a joint base. So the Army trains along with the Marines and the Navy band folks. So all three of those services train at the same time. Yes.
Does Washington, D.C. have its own band stationed in that area?
Yes. So there are premier bands, and we're part of the normal Army bands, let's call them that. And so we move to duty station to duty station like every 3 years or so. So the Washington, D.C. bands are special bands that you audition for. Most of those folks have a master's degree in performance before they go, and they're enlisted, they're not officers. So they come in a bit higher than most of the other folks here in the Army bands. So if you're familiar at all with Army rank structure, okay, Army musicians all come in at the 4th rank. So E4, which is specialist, and that's because musicians have a pre-acquired skill. We're not teaching you to be a musician once you come into the Army, because that would be impossible. You know, it takes a lot of years and expertise to become a musician. So we're taking musicians with pre-existing skills, we're teaching them how to march and do all the Army things, and then we're sending them off to an Army band. What is it, like 2 months, 3 months?
So, well, after basic training, AIT is a 10-week course.
10 weeks. Okay, so same length as basic training. So you get basic training 10 weeks, and then you get your musicianship training, which is another 10 weeks, and then you're out into the field doing your job. Oh, and sorry, so those special bands, they never move. So they're kind of stuck there. It's a very, very specialized field and very, very competitive jobs. So those, and there are 3 Army bands, 3 special bands. One of them does tours all over the country. That's the field band. There's the drum and fife corps. They do a lot of, they wear the traditional outfits with wigs and like stockings and all that kind of stuff. They also do some touring, but most of their stuff is in Washington, D.C. And then the President's Own, I'm sorry, not the President's Own, Pershing's Own, and they do a lot of the heads of state visits and Arlington National Cemetery. They play over there. Okay. I'm sorry, what was your question?
Do you compose your own music? You make your own music, original composition?
Some of us do, so that's not a requirement for us. That's not something that we train on, but some of our folks do have that skill set. Our jazz combo is a prime example of that. They've written, maybe like at least 10 different pieces, so like a whole CD's worth of original music that they themselves came up with. And they're just a phenomenal group. So there's that opportunity. There are a couple arranging positions. So arranging is a little bit different than composing. Arranging, you're taking music that already exists and you're adapting it to the musical ensemble that you've already got. So we do have a couple arranging positions in the Army Band. Again, those are at special bands, and that's their full-time job, is just cranking out arrangements for all kinds of different ensembles.